Hey guys, it's Jeff. Just a quick video. I've had some people ask me on Facebook about how I make my nalbinding needles, so I just wanted to do a quick walkthrough on that. Um, I know some people talk about starting with little branches, but for me, I feel like you always have issues with the pith inside there, so I like to start with a branch, at least that big around, something I can split in half. Once I get it split down, I like to put it in my vise, and I like the 2 holes. I feel like I can put more in there. Now this piece is actually big enough, I'm hoping to get 2 needles out of it. And so honestly, I just eyeball it, find the place that I want a hole, and I try to keep it straight with the grain just because it makes it a little bit easier when I'm doing my carving. Now, one of the things that I like to do to make my work a little bit easier is I like to, instead of really carve down the wood, I like to split down the wood. So this has been my favorite knife for carving lately. I forget who made this, but just stick it where I want that. Let's just scrape there. And the advantage with this is you can use really small pieces of wood. And like that, I've got 2 blanks that I can carve down to a needle. Now I'll use this, and I will start by splitting down a lot closer to the line to get something like this. And I like mine just a little bit longer than my index finger, but I'll make the blanks even longer than that, just have something to hold on to. And then I start trying to get it roughly rectangular, again, trying to keep everything in line with those holes. Let's see, here's another one. Now this is some oak wood. The first one you saw there was actually some mulberry. Haven't made any before, but I'm going to try some of that. This is some sycamore, this is some oak. But the oak is really strong, so I found I can get really close there. And I just keep going with this. Again, I've gotten it rectangular, and once I get it rectangular, then I'm going to start establishing a point. Again, just kind of sighting down, trying to make sure that I'm keeping things in line with the holes. And notice I'm just doing this from 2 sides. And then from there I can start moving this back to try to make it a more gradual taper, because I like my needles to taper all the way from the eye down. They're a little more severe here, but keeping this pretty gradual. Now, a big knife like this will only get me so far, and so this has been my go-to for the fine whittling. I really like the sheep's foot blade just because of that straight portion, and it is what I use to do my fine tuning to get in close by those eyes, and then to try to get that gradual taper all the way down. After I get this taper down this way, then I'll start looking at the thickness and trying to, I always end up with extra thickness down here at the point, but then once I start establishing the point, then I can start taking that down and just keep working away little by little until I end up with this. Now, you'll notice this is looking pretty smooth. I always use, I'm not sure what grit this is. It's pretty fine grit sandpaper, but I feel like it makes things really forgiving to just smooth it all out with that. I use my hand so I can get the curves, make sure that the tip of the needle is not too sharp. But the thing that I feel like really makes the difference for me is to finish things off. I do what's called burnishing, and I like to use a deer antler. And all burnishing is rubbing rather vigorously along the needle or whatever you're carving. And what this does is it compacts the fibers, really smooths them out, so even if I didn't do a great job with the sanding, this can really get into smoothing things out. I like using the tine because then I can also kind of polish up the edges of the holes. And then that would be my, well, I burnished a little bit more than that, but that would be my finished needle. I don't put any finish on it, no beeswax, no oil, nothing like that. Just the burnishing, And of course, through use, it's going to get even shinier and more burnished. So that is how I make my needles, and I'll talk to you later.